What's up, guys? Welcome back to a brand new video. Today we got a crazy story of this guy and girl doing something not so great on the bus. Let's just jump right into it. Oh, of course, leave a like in the video to claim your free nothing right now. We're going to call the subscriber who submitted this story Jake. So anyways, Jake always gets on the bus, and it feels like every single person out of school gets on one of the buses that go through, and it's always super crowded. And so Jake really likes this one certain seat. It's kind of towards the back. It's probably the most goated seat out there. If you guys ride the bus, you do know that like some spots are like some spots are optimal. There is a few like the good seats. So normally, or not normally, but on a good handful of times when Jake gets there early enough, he's able to get on the spot. He's able to get the seat. But more recently, and this story happened a couple years ago. So more recently, meaning like 3 years ago, more recently. But more recently, there have been this couple that just got together. Jake was in 7th grade. They were in 10th grade. And you know all that like cringy garbage like, oh my God, we're meant to be together forever. You literally, I don't know, you're a part of me. I'm a part of you. Yin and yang. We're going to be together forever. Sweetums, kittens, I love you. Like all that garbage. Bro, you're literally in 10th grade. I think you're probably going to break up by the time I end this frickin' sentence, dude. Like, come on now. Yeah, so it's one of those couples, unfortunately. And they had gotten together recently, and Jake had really never had competition for the seat until they got together and they started taking a seat. So basically every day he'd get on, and about 1/3 of the time he'd be able to get to his seat, chilling, relaxing. He's in the perfect seat. But 2/3 of the time he gets on, and he sees their like two little heads popping above the seat, them looking at each other, staring into each other's eyes. Oh, my sweet kitten, we're so in love. Like, dude, shut up. You're in high school. As I said, probably going to break up by the time I end this sentence, dude. Anyways, though, so yeah, it was just one of these days. And actually, this happened the day before. So the day before the thing, I'm going to call it the thing for now. The day before the thing, he walks on the bus. And like usual, they're in the seat, so he's already pissed. Bad start to the day. And this time, he sees only the very, very tops of their head, as if that they were kind of like crouching down a little bit so that it wasn't super obvious. Because when you're sitting in the bus, you can see the head of the person like a couple seats down. It's really not that hard. So at the very beginning, Jake actually thought when he got on the bus that he got on before them, as he sometimes does, and was pretty hyped. And then he sees just like a little like sticking out of their head. He's like, dude, you gotta be kidding me. Like, they're actually trolling me at this point. Anyways, he gets closer and he walks by them. And he sees that they're just like straight up like making out on the bus. Definitely against the rules of the bus or whatever. But this is the first time they've ever done this. Before, they've just been like longingly staring into each other's eyes. You're my shadow. You're my muse. I look into a mirror and you're my reflection. Just like garbage Tumblr-ass quotes like that. Anyways, though, so this is the first time they've actually were making out or whatever, and it was kind of weird. Actually, it wasn't kind of weird. It was weird. Please don't do this. Anyways, please. So yeah, sure enough, he walks by. He's like, okay, that's kind of gross. He goes back behind one seat behind them because that's kind of like the backup seat. It's kind of not great, but it's okay, and no one ever takes it. And basically, the rest of the seats are going to fill up really quick. He sits down, whatever. The next day, gets on the bus. And remember, they were kind of pushing things by making out. They'd never made out before. Let's just say that they hopped in the car, and they went from driving 5 miles per hour to 20. When they went from all that garbage, oh, I love you so much, to making out. That's going from 5 miles per hour to 20 miles per hour. On this day, they took the car and they hit the gas so quickly, they accelerated from 20 miles per hour to 200 miles per hour. The car engine exploded and they all died. That's how crazy fast the acceleration went. So anyways, Jake gets on the bus, as he does. Yeah, so Jake's walking by them, and this time he doesn't see either of their heads. So he is almost rushing to the seat. He's in such a good mood. He's about to get the good seat. He rushes over, and that's when he sees, instead of their head popping out of the top of the seat, both pairs of their legs pop out to the side of the seat. He's like, what the hell? So anyways, he's mad because people are in his seat. 2, He's confused because why are their legs sticking out at that angle? That's like really weird. So anyways, he walks by them, and sure enough, I don't know why they thought that this was a good idea. This bus was populated. This was like a crazy populated bus. So anyways, he walks by, and well, they were just straight up, they were just straight up banging. Sorry. Okay. No, nothing more said about that. So yeah, he just quickly he looks over because he's like, okay, what the hell are they doing over there? Like, what's going on? I want to sit in my seat. And then he just sees that, he's like, oh, okay. He just powers not to the seat right behind them, but he goes a few seats back. And he just stands, he just sits there and he's like, I must be tripping. I must be dreaming. I must be, I don't know, someone must have snuck some, I don't know, LSD into my water bottle, because there's no freaking way I just saw what I saw. 0% chance that's actually what's going on. So anyways, awkwardly sitting there, just oh my God, just let me get here. Puts in headphones, starting to listen to some music. That's when he feels a tap on his shoulder. The bus has been moving for 10 minutes at this point. He looks up and it's the dude, the guy out of the guy and girl couple. And the guy is looking at him. And the subscriber is just looking up, and Jake just kind of makes eye contact with them. And they're just looking at each other. And Jake in his head is okay, am I going to play dumb, or is that just not even a strat? So the guy looks at him. He's like, dude, you can't tell anyone what you saw. The subscriber's okay. And the guy's no, I'm serious. There's going to be issues if you tell people what you saw. And James kind of looks at him. Sorry, Jake, not James. Jake kind of looks at him. It's bro, you guys are really going to beat up some 7th grader for walking on the bus and happening to look over because you guys were up to some nonsense? First of all, why are you threatening me? I already said, okay, I'm not going to, tell people. He's yeah, well, I think you're going to tell people because it's probably pretty crazy. You got a little story now to tell. It's kind of ironic because now Jake told it to me. And now I'm telling it to thousands of people anyway, so Jake's no, dude, I'm just not going to do that, okay? And the guy's look, if I hear that you're whispering, peeping about this, there's going to be problems. So at this point, this is Jake's worst day ever. Not only does he not get the seat, not only has he witnessed something that's scarring him, but now we got Big Boy over here threatening him? No, this is just an L all around. Anyways, let's skip forward to the next day. So the next day, the subscriber, Jake, gets on the bus, and the seat's open. Great news. Well, not exactly. Anyway, so Jake gets to school. He's in a good mood. He got his special seat. Everything in life is good. Everything in life is perfect. But that's when the guy comes up to him and pushes him up against a locker. And Jake's hey, yo, bro, what? You trying to get a room or something? What? No, it wasn't like that. Anyways, pushes him up against a locker. Jake's oh, shoot, what happened? And immediately Jake's okay, somehow they got caught. And the guy's dude, I told you, if you told someone, it's over for you. And Jake's dude, I didn't tell anyone. And the guy's well, you're the only one that we saw, seeing us. And I just got pulled into the principal's office, yesterday, I got pulled into the principal's office, and, I have to now have 2 weeks of detention, and I'm banned from the bus. I'm no longer allowed to go back on. And they said that they're being so nice for that or something, and they got an anonymous tip. Really anonymous tip. And at this point, Jake's dude, first of all, I'm not the only one on the bus. I wasn't the only one there. The bus is packed. You guys are freaking nuts for doing that because there's so many kids around. There's so many people on the bus. I definitely was not the only one who saw it. You guys were not being sneaky, and if you thought you were, newsflash, you weren't. Also, why would I anonymously tip them off? And, well, actually, there was low-key an incentive that, Jake, they'd always take Jake's favorite seat, so low-key there was an incentive for him to do it. But this guy didn't know that. So it wasn't super clear that there was an incentive, even though on the low there definitely was. But it wasn't clear that there was. So this guy's well, you're the only one that we know, so, you definitely did it. And Jake's bro, are you serious right now? And he's you know what? You and me after school, at 5 minutes, basically saying, he's like, oh, I'm challenging you to a fight, like after school, you and me. And Jake's like, dude, no, I didn't tell, like, I'm just going to get on the bus and go back home. Something you can't do now. Yeah, should have Jake, like, did that little diss right there. I mean, super deserved, but at the same time, he's kind of getting himself into more trouble. Real quick, comment bust down below right now. That's the secret word of the day. And I'm going to be trying to heart as many comments as I can. So if you want to maximize your chances of getting a heart, comment bust 3 times in 3 different comments. Do that right now. Anyways, so Jake's like, dude, like, I'm not going to do that. So anyways, it's starting to become almost like a scene. Like, it's almost feel like it's going to be a brawl. Because, like, people are starting to, like, cluster around them a little bit. I don't know if there's ever, like, a fight starts to brew. If you guys kind of... No, I mean, maybe not you. You should stay away from that. You'll get in trouble. You could get pulled in, whatever. But definitely if there's, like, rumblings that there's a fight going on, like, people start to pull up. Some people whip out their phones. A crowd starts to form. So a crowd is basically starting to form. And Jake's like, dude, like, relax. Like, I didn't do it. You have no proof that I did. Why would I do it? There's no reason for me to do it. And so many other people could have done it. So to blame me is pretty crazy. Anyways, so it looked like at this point, the fight was almost inevitable. Like, it seemed as if that Jake was going to get beaten up by this kid, which 7th grader, 10th grader, like, dude, pick on someone your own size. I think honestly, this kid was just super angry and trying to take it out on someone. And even though he definitely saw, like, the logical, flaws in his argument, he just needed to take his anger out on someone. And unfortunately, Jake was that someone. However, the timing was perfect. Because there's some kid in the crowd who said, no, wait, bro, like 1 sec. And it looked like one of either a friend of this guy or someone who knew this guy, probably in 10th grade. He said, no, dude, like, you know that kid Ben in 8th grade? Apparently he's the one who told. So word got out because, like, Ben started telling everyone that he got the big bad 10th grader kicked off the bus forever. And word was spreading pretty quickly that it was Ben, but apparently it didn't reach the guy. Obviously it didn't reach the guy because then the guy would have just gone after Ben instead of Jake. But anyways, he basically drops Jake and says, you're lucky, but you're on thin ice. And Jake's like, dude, how am I the one on thin ice? And the kid's like, don't be pushing it here or whatever. Anyways, so this kid starts to go immediately for where Ben's going to be. He's going right to Ben's locker. He's going over there. And so this is a point where Jake didn't follow because Jake's like, all right, I narrowly got out of this. I'm not trying to test my luck, basically. I'm not trying to test my luck and see if this kid's going to continue to have the same, like, favor. Like, I got out of this. I'm not trying to push this. So the rest of this is from the perspective of one of Jake's friends. But basically, this was a setup, which is actually kind of genius. Or, I don't know. It depends on how you think. So anyways, this guy is super angry. He's banned from the bus. Him and his girlfriend have to go to detention. They also now need to find a way to, get from, school to home and back again. And I'm sure telling your parents, oh yeah, it was my girlfriend on the bus. Yeah, that's probably not going to go down well, especially you're in 10th grade. Focus on math class, bro. Anyways, though. So he's going there, angry, furious, planning to probably demolish this kid, Ben. And he walks over there. Ben's standing at his locker or his cubby or whatever, it's almost like a little bit too perfect. And turns out it was a little bit too perfect because, like, basically the guy's like, he's like, Ben, like, I know you told on me. I'm gonna sock, like, the living life out of you right now. Like, get over here so we can finish this quick and it doesn't have to be dragged out. And as he's screaming this, the teacher walks from, like, behind the corner. Like, the hallway was at, like, a 90-degree angle. So, like, the hallway made a turn. And the teacher was behind there the whole time, heard the whole thing, basically was like, said that, let's call the name Sam. I never gave him a name. But he's like, Sam, you were just in the office for what you did today. And now you're going to, like, beat up a kid. Come with me. So we never knew exactly what the punishment was for Sam. However, Jake has never seen him again. Then again, he really only saw him on the bus, and he's looked for him, like he's kind of like paid attention, and he hasn't seen him since. Doesn't mean he got expelled. Doesn't mean he didn't not get expelled. But yeah,